Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to talk about sales tax and income tax. We're putting this on page 41 for Tuesday, the 19th. Go ahead and get that into your table of contents. And once you have that, please turn to page 41 or your next clean sheet. This is right after the foldable that we did the previous day. All right, so at the top, we're going to do sales tax first. Sales tax. And let's go ahead and define what sales tax is. Sales tax is the tax imposed by the state or local government or governments. It is called or it is collected by the seller or service provider. The tax is a percent of the total cost of the goods, meaning that when you go and buy stuff, they're putting a sales tax on it to collect a little bit more than what the actual price is shown. For instance, let's take an example in doing, let's say you go to the store and pens for a 3-pack, it costs $3.59. Okay. When you get to the register, you don't pay exactly $3.59 for it. There's what is called the sales tax. And typically the sales tax is 8.5%, but in this scenario, they're going to use that the sales tax, so we're going to put on here sales tax equals 8%. Okay, in order to solve this, you are going to use what we have previously talked about called percent of a number. And basically what we're doing is we're taking the percentage, the sales tax, and we're going to change this. So change to a decimal. This is why it was important to learn from percent to a decimal going back. How do we do that? You move 2 times to the left. Okay, with DP, you go P to D, and that is 2 times to the left. So our sales tax then becomes 12.08. And at that time, you would drop off the percentage. Okay, so that is your percentage changing to a decimal. So the percent becomes the decimal. So let me put that in red. Percent of a number becomes the decimal of means to multiply of your actual number. Okay, so really the only thing that we're changing up is the percent is becoming your decimal so that we can multiply it by the number. Which then our example is it is 0.08 times $3.59. Last week we learned about how to multiply with decimals. This is why it was important to learn this. Now we need to multiply so that we get how much the actual percentage is taking and adding to the cost of pens. So we have $3.59, and we are going to multiply over here off to the side times the 0.08. Remember, when multiplying with decimals, we do not have to line up the decimals. In this scenario, it happens to line up for us, which is fine. We first multiply our numbers like normal. 9 times 8 is 72. 8 times 5 is 40 plus the 7 is 47. 8 times 3 is 24 plus the 4 is 28. I will understand that 0 times any number is 0, so I do not have to put all the zeros down here and then add them up because it would still be 2872. Okay? All right, so we have 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 in the first number, 2 in the second, so I need 4 in my answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's where we place the decimal. So the sales tax, which is 0.08 of $3.59, is 0.2872. When we're dealing with money, we round to the nearest cent. The nearest cent is the 1 cent place, which is your hundredths place value. 5 or more raise the score, so 7 is higher than 5, so we're going to raise this to 29. So we're approximating this to 0.29. Now to determine what I'm going to pay at the register, I simply take my 29 cents and I need to bring it back and add it to the total cost that they were selling it for. So $3.59 plus the 29 cents gives me, this is 18, 5, 6, 7, 8, and $3.88 for a pack of 3 pence. So basically the sales tax is tax imposed by the state or local governments so that they're basically making a little more money off of what is being sold in stores. So when you do your percent of a number, you have your decimal times the number because you're changing your percent to a decimal. You do your multiplication to find out how much is the sales tax. This right here is how much they are charging for sales tax. Sales tax. Okay? That is your sales tax. Once you have the tax, you have to add it back to the original cost. So this is your original cost of the product. And then it tells you how much you're actually paying for it at the register. All right, we're going to move on to another example. Let's say we are going to buy, say, a notebook. So say we have some notebooks on sale or that cost. So notebooks cost $1.99, and you need to get $1.99, and you need 3 of them. Your sales tax is 8%. We'll leave it at 8% for right now while we're doing these. Now, again, sales tax can change depending on your scenario, so please be careful. It's not always going to be 8%. It could be 7.5. It could be 8.5. Whatever the case may be, you always want to change this percent to a decimal so that we're doing our percent of a number. We change it to decimal of a number. Okay? So in this scenario, I don't just have one notebook that I need to find for. I have 3. So the first thing you need to do is multiply 199 times your 3 to get your cost for 3 notebooks. There's 3 notebooks. This is the cost of notebooks. Okay? So 3 times 9 is 27. We got 27, 28, 29. And 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 2 is 5. So for all 3 notebooks, the cost is $5.97. Now I need to multiply that by the sales tax. Okay, so we have $5.97 times the 8%, but we need to change 8% to a decimal, percent to a decimal, so that we can do its multiplication. Changing it to its decimal, we move 2 times to the left, and then we do our multiplication. We're going to come off to the side. We have 5.97 times 0.08. 7 times 5 is 56. 9 times 8 is 72, plus 5 is 77. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 7 is 47. Again, 0 times all these numbers would be 0, so I'm done with this part. I have 1, 2 decimals in the top number, 1, 2 decimals in the bottom number. So it gives me a total of 4 decimals that I need in my answer. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, place the decimal. We are rounding to the nearest cent because we're dealing with money. 5 or more, raise the score. 7 raises this 7 to an 8. So I have 0.48 cents. That needs to be now added back to the original cost. So we're adding it back to add to original cost. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and put 48. So $5.97 plus the 48 cents, which is your sales tax. This gives us 15. 9 and 1 is 10, plus the 4 is 14. And 5 plus 1 is 6. So for all 3 notebooks, we are going to spend $6.45.